Hello and welcome back to another episode of Internal Rambles. This is your girl, Rochelle. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you for tuning back in. Your girl is back. Did you miss me? I'm back with the reality show recaps. Recapping Married at First Sight Denver. Finally, it has happened to me. They are on the honeymoons. I do not recap the matchmaking episodes, the weddings, none of that. That stuff is just drawn out, boring, snooze fest. To me, the show does not start really getting interesting, getting juicy until they are married. They are starting to truly get to know each other, interacting, and they are on the honeymoon. So finally we are here and they are in Cancun and they are on the honeymoons. So a little bit late, a little bit delayed with finally getting this recap out to y'all, but we are here. Okay. So I was going to double up and do 2 episodes, but I was like, you know what? I've waited long enough. So let's get into Married at First Sight Denver episode 5. The episode was called Take Me Down to Paradise. And here we are, the recap of episode 5, Married at First Sight Denver. Okay, so if you are caught up, you would know that there was supposed to be 5 married couples, but unfortunately, Michael was left at the altar. He did not get married. His potential wife was like, you know what? Nah. So I don't think we may not have seen the last of him. Potentially, I'm not sure. They may have someone for him later down the line in this season. I don't know. They kind of tease that. But for right now, there are only 4 married couples. And at the beginning of the episode, they are in, all of the 4 couples, they're in Cancun and they have like drinks or whatever to start off the honeymoon. And they're all kind of discussing where are they at. It's only been a few days. What are everyone's thoughts? How are they feeling about their new spouses? And so I'm going to just kind of discuss where they feel that they are with their new marriages. And so we have first up Lauren, who is 31, and Orion, who is 27. Lauren says that she's really happy. She's attracted to Orion. She's feeling very positive. Orion says that he's really excited to get to know Lauren, and things have been, and it's been a pleasure getting to know Lauren. Next up, we have Emily and Brennan. Emily is 29, Brennan is 28, and Emily says that things have been going well and has exceeded her expectations, and Brennan also says that things have been going very well. Cameron and Claire. Cameron is 32. Claire is 27. Claire says that her and Cameron are 2 different people, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, and that could really be a positive thing, that they could, kind of like the yin and the yang, they really could balance each other out, so they'll have to see how things go. Cameron says that he can be a difficult person to be around and that Claire is being a champ dealing with him. And then last but not least, we have Austin and Becca, who are both 31, and they are just in wedded bliss. Things are going very well. And they seem to mesh really positively. So out of all of the couples, Austin and Becca are doing the best. So they're like in La La Land. They are frolicking through flowers and roses. They are in wedded bliss. So they are the ones that are just hitting it off the best initially. So that was everyone's initial impressions. A little bit later in the episode, Emily and Brennan, they're having a meal, or I guess you can say, and they're discussing finances, and Brennan is sharing that he's very financially responsible. He likes to save. He likes to live beyond, or not beyond, I'm sorry, he likes to live below his means. And child, Emily is like, you know what? I can do better. I don't even know where my money be going. You could probably help me with that. He just has a look like, oh my God. I'm scared. He's like, you know what? I think I need to take a look at your finances because that's not going to work for me. I believe in being financially responsible, setting me and my family up for success, aka you not about to run my finances and my credit score into the ground. So it's very interesting with Emily and Brennan because Emily is the one who's never been in a relationship before, and she just is like party girl, and Brennan is just like, I don't mind the partying, but also, are you all right? Like, I think he's okay with it, but I also could see down the line where he's like, at some point, we gotta be serious too. So that may become a problem down the line because she is just like, shots, you know, and he's just on the honeymoon, sure. But I think at some point it's like, okay, we do get serious and be adults and grown and married and husband and wife, and we're not college kids. So I don't know. That could be a problem down the line at some point. Okay, Cameron and Claire, there has been a little bit of friction. Nothing I would say too serious just yet. One thing that I saw, and I may have read this wrong, I will admit, I will say, Cameron was talking about his job and how he fixes bikes, and she was just like, so you just be fixing bikes? Like, that's what you do? And initially it seemed like she was trying to minimize his occupation. She's in grad school. She's finishing up her master's. And then he shared, like, I enjoy what I do. It brings me so much joy, and I really see how riding bikes is such a wellness activity for people. It helps people with their mental health. They come in, they share their life with me. Like, it's something that he's enjoyed. He makes money from it. It's his occupation, and he's living his best life. And it's something that he chooses to do, and he's really great at it. And so I think when she saw kind of the deeper meaning and what it really brings to him, she understood that it was just not a minimal job or a menial job. And then later on, she discusses, or she inquires what his thoughts are about therapy and mental health, or therapy in particular. And he's like, well, I think it's a positive thing. I think he said he's been in therapy before, I'm not sure, but he's like, it's not something that I want to do right now. I don't feel like I need to do it right now. And she's like, I am an advocate for therapy. I'm in therapy. I think therapy is important. Why don't you think it's important? He's like, it's okay. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's great, but I don't need to be in it right now. And she was just like, we are just two different people. We think differently. And it's just like, he didn't say it was horrible or that he would never do it. He just said, I think it's a positive thing, but I don't need to be in it right now. And so I think she has filters that I don't think she's an active listener, by the way. And I think as soon as he doesn't fully agree with her, she takes it as, oh my God, I can't deal with this. We're not the same people. I can't be with someone that's not like me. That's the way that I see it. Because he didn't say anything bad about it. He's just like, I don't need it. You know, and I think he's a very go with the flow type person. I'll see what happens. If it's meant for me, it'll be for me. And I think she lives a little bit more rigidly. So I don't know about Cameron and Claire, but I think he rubs her the wrong way very instantaneously. And then we have well, actually, before I go to Orion, back to Orion and Lauren. So right before Becca got onto the show, she had surgery. She's had some health issues. So she's still recovering from her surgery while she's on the honeymoon. So she can't go like into pools, and she like at one point she wasn't feeling well and she was very emotional, and Austin was very, is his name Austin? Yes, Austin was very understanding about it, but also I kind of was like, she had like major surgery. This wasn't just like, I don't even know, not to minimize anything, but she had major surgery. And so it kind of was like, was this the right time for you to be on a show? Like, I get that you want to get married and everything, but she had super intense major surgery. She wasn't feeling well. I don't know. I guess, I mean, I get when an opportunity presents itself, but she literally was just not feeling well. Like, still was like having, like, her stitches were healing, and I don't know, child. I mean, Austin was very understanding, but I'm just like, your own well-being is just like, maybe I don't know. I guess you know your own body and everything. If the doctor gave you the okay to travel, but I don't know. Okay. But anyways, Becca and Austin, they've been hitting it off. They really complement each other. They have a lot of similarities, and even in their differences, it's not anything that is to be red flags for either one of them. So even though she wasn't feeling well, they seem to be the most connected. So that's that on that. And then last but not least, Orion and Lauren. So Lauren's African American. Orion is Native American, I believe. And their cultural differences show immediately, even with him just being like, can I see how you lay your edges, and he said it in a different way, but he's just very fascinated about her hair, which is what it is, which something, if interracial couples, if you're with a black woman and you're not black, you would want to know how a black woman cares for their hair. Very interesting thing that there was actually I don't know if it wasn't an argument, but they got into it about Orion admitted that in the past he has, used the N-word, and that, he had to be taught like that's not, that's a derogatory word. It's not something to say. And so Lauren shares that there's been terms that she's used that she didn't, or, that she didn't know that was derogatory. And so he brings up a word. It wasn't even her who said, and she's like, no, I've never used that word. And she kind of chuckles about it, like, and then she wasn't making a joke. I think to me, it seemed like more of an uncomfortable laughter. Like, I've never used that word, and he gets super offended. And then it gets to like, he gets like very angry, and she's like, I can see like how that could be offensive, but I wasn't making it a joke. But when another guy earlier made a joke, you weren't offended, but me just explaining how, I have used terms, but I don't really know. Sometimes I've used things that I didn't know was offensive, but even just me kind of, in the moment, kind of being lighthearted about something, you were very offended. I'm just, kind of conversing like in the same way that you didn't know something was offensive. I've been ignorant in the past, but you're treating me differently and getting upset with me. But earlier when someone literally made a joke, I wasn't even making a joke. And like, it just was a very weird exchange. And he's like, why, as a black woman, why are you treating me differently and more aggressively than someone that literally was making a joke, a derogatory joke? So Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that they both had valid points. But I think Lauren definitely had a valid point. And so I think it highlights just, with them, there's going to be a lot of teachable moments and learning moments with them if they continue to move forward with their marriage, as they learn about each other's culture and teach with each other about each other's culture. And just, there's going to be potentially more sensitive moments and how they navigate, and that, hopefully they can both give each other grace. Because it seemed like Lauren gave him grace, but he wasn't really initially giving her grace. So it's going to be interesting to see how they move forward. Because, child, he was looking like he was ready to nut, buck, and cuss her out. And she wasn't really making a joke. So I don't know. I don't know if I read that wrong or not, but still a sensitive topic on both ends. And I think, they're just going to have to both learn how to communicate, give each other grace, and be kind and sensitive and loving towards each other as they learn and teach each other. That's it. Because when you don't know, you don't know. But then I think there's going to be a lot that they will have to navigate through. Or there's going to be things they're going to have to, I don't know if it's going to be a lot, but they're going to have to navigate through. So that's that. That's this episode. Early predictions. Obviously, this means nothing because it's literally like day 1 or 2 of their honeymoon. So Becca and Austin are doing well. Cameron and Claire, I don't know about that matchup. I think that, I don't know. I don't know about that matchup. But I'm like question mark. Orion and Lauren, I think they could work. But I could see Orion, as much as he tried to portray himself as being very flexible and open-minded, I don't really think he's as flexible and open-minded as he says. So if he can actually truly be flexible, open-minded, and communicate effectively, give grace, and Lauren too, they could work, maybe. And then who am I missing? Emily and Brennan, I don't know what I think about them. I think Emily has a lot of maturing to do. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, and then maybe they could work. So we'll see. Like I said, and I mentioned just kind of in my other podcast, it really seems like they I don't want to say odd couples, but unconventional couples. Like this to me is the season of unconventional couples. So, and I think last season only one couple stayed married. So I don't know if that was intentional this season. So we'll see. The jury is out. We will go along this Married at First Sight journey again, and we will see what happened or what happens. And we'll see what happens with Michael if they do pair him up and get him married. I kind of hope so, because he deserves a shot too. I mean, he made it to the altar. He just didn't get married by no fault of his own. So that's that. What are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to make it? Not going to make it? No, hit me up on YouTube or my official site. Let me know your thoughts. InternalRamblesPodcast.com. Thank you for tuning in. Truly appreciate you. And until next episode, until next recap, this is your girl, Rochelle.